former lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu and the counsel to the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor has expressed readiness to file appeal at the Appeal Court of Justice against the judgment of Lagos State High Court that sentenced an Ebonyi State-born security guard, Samson Ogochukwu, to death by hanging because he was accused of masterminding armed robbery attack against his employer after he was kidnapped and taken away by the armed robbers who dropped him along the road and gave him 100,000 naira cash gift to return to his village, but instead he decided to go back to his employer. The death row inmate, while calling for help with a video of himself inside the Kirikiri Maximum Prison in Lagos State, said one of the armed robbers happened to be the person who took him from Onitsha in Anambra State where he was, and helped him to Lagos State to get the security job. Adding, the person alongside other members of the armed robbery gang were later arrested by the police, but the High Court set them free and only sentenced him to death by hanging. Sahara reporters had reported on November 13, 2024, that an indigene of Ebonyi State in the southeast region of Nigeria who is living in Lagos, Samson Ogochukwu, had cried out for help after he said he was sentenced to death by hanging by the Lagos State High Court for a crime he knows nothing about. Ogochukwu, who narrated his ordeal in a video that has since gone viral, said he was accused of arranging a robbery attack at a place where he was employed as a security guard gatekeeper in the Lekki area of Lagos. He had said he was arrested in 2017 after his friend he identified as Chuks Viviana Okonkwo from Imo State made him relocate from Onitsha in Anambra State to Lagos, and got the security guard job for him. However, he said the same friend who got the job for him brought 4 others to his place of work, tied him with a rope and forced him to take them to his employer, where they robbed his employer and carted away with his car and other valuables. After the robbery, Ogochukwu said the armed robbers forced him into the car trunk and ran away, but along the road, they brought him out, gave him 100,000 naira and asked him to leave Lagos and return to the southeast. However, he decided to go back to his employer to explain what happened, but got arrested and was accused of being the masterminder of the robbery. Subsequently, he was arraigned in court and convicted and sentenced to death by hanging, while the court discharged the criminals who were later arrested by the police. Barrister Ejiofor, in a statement on Friday, said that his chamber is taking up the case, adding, a junior lawyer in his chamber had been sent to the court that delivered the judgment to obtain documentary evidence and processes filed in the court leading to his conviction. Ejiofor, in a news release titled, "In response to the trending call for justice," stated in quotes below thus: "Recently, my social media platforms and, indeed, my phones were inundated with this trending video. Though I had, in response to this clarion call, directed a junior colleague to proceed to the court that delivered the judgment and obtain the necessary records of proceedings that will enable us to swing into action, which the process is progressing seamlessly, I am aware that a citizen charged with a capital offense is by law entitled to be represented by counsel. This should be the first hurdle." The accounts, as he provided in the video, regarding somebody who brought him to Lagos to find employment and later came with his gang to rob in the very household he was engaged in, is a statement of fact that will be verified and explored on our appeal when we are in receipt of the records. Let us see the records of proceedings of the trial court, read the evidence of witnesses that testified, their extrajudicial statements to the police, that of the convict and his evidence at the trial, if any, and then see how the learned trial judge evaluated admissible evidence, oral and documentary, and the findings of fact he made from accepted evidence, and further interferes with the convict. From the above findings, we will determine the direction of our legal arsenal on appeal. For the interim, I will implore the general public to give us the space to decisively deal with the case in line with the requirements of the law. Let us emphasize that this is a public interest brief. We are solely taking up 100% pro bono. As always, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor stated.
Good morning, Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State, you know, post video na Facebook. I'm on one afam bụ Samson Ogochukwu. Abụ onye Ebonyi State from Eza. Ọ ya mee 270 ka m chọrọ ịkọrọ unu. Biko nyere unu m aka. Ọ nọ n'Ịcha ka m nọ, Anambra State. Ọyị nwoke nọ na Lagos a bụ Chief Vivian Okonkwo, Imo State. Si m na mgbagote Lagos ka ọ chọrọ m ezigbo ọrụ because onwe ezigbo ọrụ na-arụ na Anambra State. Mgbe gbagote Lagos 217 na wee chọrọ m ọrụ ebe a na-akpọ Lekki First One na Lagos a. Wee bido na-arụ ọrụ ebe a as a security gate man. Wee rụba ọrụ ebe a. Ama m na the boy nwee plan ọzọ. O ruo one day ọ bịa iti mmadụ 4. Ka nna m ya na-eme ejide m nke m ụdọ. Asị na ndị egosi ha ndị na-arụ ọrụ n'oyi a ka ọ chedebe n'aka m. Nkwanye mma kpọrọ ha je gosi ha ndị na-arụ ọrụ. Wee zuo ndị eweru zuo ha oru buru ma moto ha. So ka ha na-apụ eburu m tikpo m na ime boot. O ruo ọgbapụ n'ụzọ. Ọkpọpụta m nye were 100,000 nye m si na mmanya dị mma nna bakwa ya isi bag agbafu mụ na amanụ m si mba ka nnachi azụ n'ụlọ nkọkwara aka dị tins wee mee so wee gbazie nachi azụ na the house ebe m na-secure as security wee rukwa ebe a kọwara ha ka dị tins ka a na-afụ m ejide m kpọọ polisi bịa nkọwarụ polisi asị m na-asị na anyị chaghị nne maka izu wee plan agha so from there akpọrọ m jee court from court nwa bịa to prison since 217 na enwe m mmadụ enwedị m lawyer sef ya stand m na court ahụ so o tere aka tụrụ aka ndị nke jide ha ka ha jide ha na ha akwụkwọ ha na nwunye gbasa m na amara maka ya asị na ama m maka na anyị ncha ndebe plancha ya so ndị ga-akpọ ndị be ha akpọta ha lawyer anyị na-eje court 217 ahụ so ruo last month bụ 31st of October Ikeja High Court edicheja mmadụ 4 hours sentence m death by hanging asị na mmadụ ịkpọta ndị ga-ezu ori and nwere ihe dị ụnyaahụ biko ndị Igbo nyere m aka biko eri m lawyer ejere m apị biko nyere m aka nwekwa nke mma biko ọ prison ka nọ yi ya na Lagos Kirikiri maximum prison ka nọ yi ya biko nyere m aka ndị Igbo nyere m aka biko ndị m lawyer help m je apị Ebonyi State nyere m aka post video ka mma ma nwee ga-enyere m aka biko nyere m aka ndị Igbo Ebonyi State prison a bụ Kirikiri maximum prison Lagos Kirikiri maximum prison Lagos ọ dị side apapa side aka ọ dị ihe na-adị na room a 4 ka a na-adị na ndị mmadụ 4 some people apụghị ilu obugwa toilet o
All Progressives Congress, APC and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the two major political parties contesting the 2024 Ondo State governorship holding this coming Saturday have held their grand finale campaigns for the Guba poll, with the PDP urging the Southwest State residents to be vigilant on the ground that someone can only rig election in place where they are popular, while the APC urged the people to vote for its candidate for the continuity of the good things the people have enjoyed from the party since they came into power. Less than 72 hours to the election, the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, on Wednesday, disqualified Olusola Ebisani as the Labour Party candidate for the upcoming Ondo State governorship election scheduled for Saturday the 16th of November 2024. Just 48 hours before the Ondo State governorship election, 3 gubernatorial candidates withdrawn from the race, endorsing Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress (APC). The candidates that stepped down include the Accord Party (AP), the National Rescue Movement (NRM), and the African Democratic Congress (ADC). Governor Ayedatiwa was joined by Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, and his campaign's Director General, Honorable Abiola Makinde, to welcome the endorsement at a solidarity visit in Akure, the state capital, according to Vanguard newspaper. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force has harped on intelligence gathering, found this as a way to ensure the smooth conduct of the poll. The Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Ondo State elections, Big Sylvester Abiodun Alabi, according to press release issued by the Force Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, held a press briefing today, the 14th of November 2024, at the Ondo State Police Command Headquarters, Akure, where he addressed officers deployed for the election duty and the members of the press. emphasizing the readiness of the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies on the forthcoming 2024 Ondo State gubernatorial elections. The Dig during his address mentioned that the force had begun effective deployments of personnel across all 18 local government areas, 203 wards, and 3,933 polling units in the state, assuring the presence of at least four police officers in collaboration with officers representing other election security agency at each polling unit to ensure a smooth poll. In a bid to in place proactive measures against all forms of security threats and interference during the electoral process, the DIG emphasized the importance of intelligence gathering and families. These approaches are essential for upholding safety and security, as it assists in identifying and preventing electoral fraud, including vote buying and manipulation. By leveraging intelligence gathering, the police can ensure a secure, free, and fair electoral process. To this end, the force has carried out a comprehensive threat analysis and as well deployed adequate personnel to areas identified as vulnerable points during the elections. The DIG further encouraged a collaborative effort between the Nigeria Police Force, other election security agencies and the electorate, reiterating the commitment of the force to maintaining law and order across the state with adequate contingency plans to respond appropriately to issues that may arise before, during and after the election. Citizens are advised to abide by the provisions of the Electoral Act, 2023, as amended and INEC guidelines, as well as all other extant laws of the land, as every electoral offender and troubleshooters will be arrested and prosecuted accordingly, the police news statement ends in quote. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, while speaking after the grand finale campaigns of the APC, said, as a party, the All Progressives Congress, APC, have greatly transformed Ondo State over the years, bringing meaningful progress across sectors and improving the lives of its citizens. With the governorship election approaching this Saturday, we urge the people of Ondo State to vote for Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa for a continued quality governance. This commitment to sustain development and good governance was my focus as we gathered for the grand finale campaign of our great party, the All Progressives Congress in Akure. The rally underscored APC's dedication to ensuring that Ondo State remains on a forward trajectory, building on the solid foundation laid in infrastructure, healthcare, education, and agriculture. Now, more than ever, it is crucial for the people of Ondo to support APC's vision for the future, ensuring that progress continues uninterrupted and that Ondo remains a beacon of growth and opportunity for all. His Bayelsa State counterpart, Governor Duyediri, at the PDP grand finale in Akure said the people of the state should be vigilante. His Excellency, Senator Duyediri, Governor of Bayelsa State, was in Akure, Ondo State today for the People's Democratic Party grand finale campaigns for the election of the party's governorship candidate, H.E. Agbola Ajayi. The governor, who joined the acting national chairman of the party, other National Working Committee members and other leaders of the party, urged the people to vote for PDP this Saturday and ensure to protect their votes at the various polling units and collation centers. We don't want to hear that we won but we were rigged out. Somebody can only rig where he is popular. In every election, it is the people that matter. Power belongs to the people. Your oppressor won't allow you go unless you decide to free yourself, he stated. The event offered another opportunity to remind the electorate, particularly members and supporters of the PDP in the state, that the November 16th election is winnable if the people are ready and vigilant to protect their votes, the PDP governor stated in quote. Ahead of the Saturday governorship election in Ondo, the Chief of Defense Staff CDS, General Christopher Musa, has charged security personnel to remain neutral. He spoke while addressing relevant security stakeholders at the Owena cantonment of the 32 Artillery Brigade, ahead of Saturday's election. He said his visit to Ondo State was to assess the level of preparedness of security agencies in support of the Nigerian police force for the election. Addressing men of the 32 artillery on their expected constitutional roles during the exercise, the defense chief said that President Bola Tinubu was impressed with the conduct of the army in Edo State governorship election. According to him, election should not be a warfare, stating that their job is to provide security for the electoral umpire and residents of Ondo State. General Musa, who commended the security agencies for their cooperation towards maintaining peace, however urged them to advise their officers to desist from acts that could mar the election. The Chief of Defense Staff therefore called for synergy among all security agencies. General Musa, however, urged INEC not to allow last-minute errors such as late arrival of materials ruin the efforts so far put in place to ensure hitch-free election. Other heads of security agencies as well as INEC told the CDS that all arrangements had been made towards ensuring free and fair. Some military checkpoints in Abia State appeared to have been sacked by Biafra secessionist armed groups, specifically the Biafra Resistance Fighters, BRF, in recent days ahead of December 2, 2024 anticipated date for the declaration of Biafra Republic by Simon Ekpa-led Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, with more intensive campaign against Nigeria's soldiers by the Biafra armed group observed today along Umopara on Imo Road around Umuahia axis in the state, with some soldiers running to take cover and some of them killed. Defense headquarters of Biafra Liberation Army in a number of separate statements on Wednesday said the attack was carried out by Biafra Resistance Fighters, one of the arms of the Biafra Defense Forces, BDF. 2 soldiers were seen lifeless in one of the videos posted by the group, and in another video, the group showed moments they were cutting away military high-precision ammunitions, guns and uniforms alongside soldiers' boots. The group released statements with videos showing moments they dislodged military checkpoints in the state on Wednesday and previous days in other locations. Residents on Wednesday early morning sent disturbing video messages of the Biafra armed group, who they described as unknown gunmen, attacking the newly mounted military checkpoint along the Umopara-Onuimo axis in Umuahia, Abia State. Earlier videos on Saturday showed that the Biafra Resistance Fighters and the elite squad attacked security operatives in Abia State and set free suspects in the police vehicle. One of the police security operatives was seen to have been killed, according to the video posted online by the group. The group also claimed responsibility for the pandemonium that broke out at Ihiola area of Anambra State at the weekend, with vehicles set ablaze as seen in the video made available by the Biafra armed group. The defense headquarters, Biafra Liberation Forces, in numbers of statements in recent days stated in quotes thus: "We can never want those Nigerian courts in Biafra land again, any court that opened. Just know that you are on your own. BDF is watching Abia and Enugu." The Biafra Resistance Fighters, BRF, visited and crushed the terrorist Nigerian army base along Umuahia on Imo Road early this morning. One Nigerian terrorist Air Force idiot is in our custody. They think it is by flying fighter jet. The Biafra Resistance Fighters has neutralized the Nigerian terrorist army in Aro Ugwa, recovered arms and ammunition. The Biafra Defense Forces has neutralized at least 4 Nigerian terrorist army in a gun duel in Okigwe early today, the 10th of November 2024. The Biafra Resistance Fighters BRF has neutralized scores of Nigerian terrorist army in Ihala today, 9th of November 2024. Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile, while reacting to some of the videos posted online by onlookers and the Biafra armed group on Wednesday and in recent days, said, "The bravery and confidence in every Biafran today should tell Nigeria how determined we are. Here is BDF engaging the terrorists Nigerian army in a heavy gun battle, and our girls were very confidently videoing it and we're very happy about it." Also noticed that other civilians' vehicles were minding their business confidently. "The terrorists Nigerian army are not doing well. We are no longer in the bush. They are running. We will chase you all across borders." one of the strongest kidnapping checkpoints has been decimated. This is where they enforced the highest disappearances of Biafra people, and today, the 13th of November 2024, the Biafra Defense Forces has decimated the terrorists and cleared the road. Our demand is simple: withdraw all the terrorists and return all the Biafrans you kidnapped. The Biafra Defense Forces are neutralizing the terrorist Nigerian army. As they come to kill Biafrans and enforce disappearance at their kidnapping checkpoint, they are now lying to their gullible supporters at Mobile Punch Health Camp the Boots. Tell them to withdraw all the remaining terrorists or they will all go down, and at the end, those who survive will flee from Biafra territory. Stop lying to your readers. It is time we start to debunk your lies with evidence to show how evil the Nigerian media are. You can now report whatever you like, but remember that Biafra has given conditions. We may start posting evidence of the delegitimization of Nigeria by the Biafra Defense Forces. Demands: 1. Withdrawal of all the Nigeria terrorists, Nigerian army and their accomplices like police and company. 2. Bring back all the Biafrans you kidnapped at various checkpoints and taken to northern Nigeria. 3. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and those you incarcerated in Abuja alongside Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 4. Every Nigeria institutions within Biafra territory should get ready closed down. It will not happen in one day, but just that you know. 5. Accept the Biafra government's self-referendum and open the door of negotiations for Biafra independence. How many boots and generals did you see in the video? Simon Ekpa stated.
We are removing it. Alex Yoma Oti. We are removing it. Alex, we are giving you people order. Alex, we are giving you people order. We say we don't need this kind of nonsense again. Today is 13th. Today is 13th. 13th of November. 13th of November. 13th of November 2024. Alex, we are dismantling this checkpoint and we are giving you a direct order. We are giving you a direct order. We are giving you a direct order not to come close. If we see this nonsense again, Alex, you are gone. If we see this nonsense again, Alex. General on the yes. As our military, they say they be military. Say they were in a now.
Firemen are good to go.
Oruguana out today. Oruguana out today. That water.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.